know, I look at all those cars there, it looks like that movie Field of Dreams, but the dream is to save America and our freedom. I'll tell you, Virginia's ground zero. Are you ready to make a difference in this election? Let me tell you why. We as Americans, we breathe freer air. We live freer lives. We have more opportunity from the day we're born than any Obama cliff with our freedom. If President Obama gets reelected, he's going to have 1 to 3 Supreme Court appointments. And I guarantee you this, if that happens, 1 to 3 more Sotomayor's and Kagan, we can kiss the constitutional right to own a firearm in the United States goodbye, along with a lot of the rest of our freedoms. And we can't let that happen. Let me talk about another thing. Anybody trusts an Obama administration in a second term to be anywhere near negotiating with that club of governments called the United Nations on our freedom? You know, that club of governments, not a one of them have a Bill of Rights like the United States of America. They're about government. Their gun plan is turn over your firearms and action to the government. The government will protect you. Does anybody think that's going to happen? That UN plan is about global agencies, monitoring, surveillance, supervision, list, all institutionalized within the bureaucracy of the United Nations, with a permanent funding mechanism largely paid for by U.S. taxpayers. Nowhere do they talk about due process, privacy, individual rights, individual freedoms, a Bill of Rights, what we're about here in the United States of America. And I guarantee you this, if your glass breaks at 2 a.m. at night somewhere from some criminal, you all know those baby blue helmets of the UN are not going to be there to protect you. And neither is President Obama or Eric Holder. What will protect you is our freedom that we have in the United States under the Second Amendment to the Constitution. And there's not a government or an authority on the planet that can match that if you're ever in that situation. Let me talk about one other thing real quick. This whole Fast and Furious situation. I mean, under the Obama administration and their Justice Department and their Obama U.S. attorneys, they sent thousands of guns to the most evil people on the planet, the Mexican drug cartels. They had a massive campaign to manipulate public opinion in this country with this whole 90% nonsense. President, the Vice President, the Attorney General, Secretary Clinton sounded like a barbershop quartet singing that. They really did. It wasn't true. And then they were ruining the lives of honest American citizens that own firearm shops that they told them to make the sales. They went ahead and make the sales, and the media is reporting they're unscrupulous dealers. And some of them they even tried to prosecute. And then when some good federal agents down the line blew the whistle on the whole mess, they tried a massive cover-up scheme. Well, I'll tell you this. The best way to give Eric Holder his walking papers is to give President Obama his walking papers on Election Day. You know, we really are on the edge of an Obama cliff. Before President Obama thought gun owners mattered, he was for a handgun ban, semi-automatic ban. He was for banning single-shot, over and under, and side-by-side shotguns. He wanted to raise the excise tax that you would pay on firearms and ammunition by 500%. That's $350 federal tax on a $500 rifle. He was for eliminating all right-to-carry permits in all 41 states. And he was one of only, I think it was 9 Illinois legislators to vote to jail a homeowner that in the middle of the night used a firearm in his home against a criminal with a rap sheet as long as your arm. And he voted to prosecute the criminal. I mean, you talk about lack of common sense. I don't know how you have any better example than that. And he voted on a vote that if he'd succeeded would have put every American firearms company out of business with the hundreds of thousands of jobs. and would have left our personal security and our military security dependent upon the Chinese, the Russians, the French, the Germans, and the Italians. And you talk about a lousy plan for America, that's it. So, we really are at the Obama cliff. We've only seen the tip of the iceberg on what's in store. If President Obama is reelected, we're going to see an anti-Second Amendment, anti-freedom rampage in this country like we've never seen before. This election could truly break the back of the Second Amendment in this country. It's the most dangerous election in our lifetime. If President Obama, with that Supreme Court and those appointments, gets reelected, our individual right to own a firearm is going to be gone. And we'll go to our grave kissing that freedom goodbye. So, I already said Virginia's ground zero. Are you ready to saddle up and ride, hang the lanterns, and be a Paul Revere for freedom in this state? Because this is an all-in election. All of our freedoms, all of our rights, all of our way of life, all the Second Amendment is on the line, and all means you. No one can sit this election out. We're Virginians, we're patriots, we're Americans, and you tell me right now, are you, by God, all in for Romney-Ryan on Election Day as our next President and Vice President of the United States? Thank you very much, and always defend freedom every single day.